Hi, my name is Naomi Shen, and today I'm going to be presenting just a little bit of Stone Soup. Is inspired by John J. Monk. Once upon a time, there were three grateful monks who were traveling through the mountain road. The three monks were all talking happily when the youngest monk asked an intriguing question: "What makes one happy?" The oldest monk replied, "Well, let's find out together." The three monks walked into a village that they knew had been through hard times, but they still tried to introduce themselves. Once the three monks walked into their village, all of the villagers suddenly vanished into their run-down homes. The oldest monk said, "We shall make some stone soup." So all three monks started to work, to find twigs and wood, and to prepare all the ingredients until they realized they didn't even have any ingredients. But one brave little girl came up to the three monks and asked curiously, "What are you doing?" The oldest monk happily replied, "We are cooking stone soup. Do you have a big pot?" The the little girl enthus- little girl enthusiastically eyes widened. Oh, my mom has a ginormous pot that's as massive as all of the pots combined in the village." The girl hurriedly ran back to her house to get the ginormous pot. She told everyone that they were making soup out of stone. When the little girl returned, she didn't just come back with the pot. She came back with the entire village. While the villagers admiringly watched the three monks cook, the sweet and salty smell of the soup melted the youngest monk. The oldest monk tasted the soup and thought it needed some seasoning, so the oldest monk asked the villagers, "Do any of you have any seasoning that would go well with soup?" One of the villagers excitedly answered, "Oh, I have some new seasonings that I had just made yesterday." And so the villager quickly ran to her house, retrieved the seasoning, and shifted it into the big pot. The middle monk tasted the soup and thought it needed some carrots. "Do any of you have some fresh and ripe carrots? The sweeter it is, the better." A farmer quickly ran up to the ginormous pot and chopped some fresh carrots into the pot. The two monks gave the youngest monk the two monks gave the youngest monk taste the soup and mesmerizingly replied, "This is the best stone soup I have ever tasted." The oldest monk proudly replied, "Then the whole village should now taste it." With every sip that the villagers tasted, their mood shifted from no hope to so much hope that it was spilling out of their hearts. The three monks decided to stay for the night, and the villagers gave them very comfortable rooms to have a good night's rest. The next morning, the three monks had a conversation where they were talking about how generous the villagers were to them. They suddenly had an idea, so they walked to the little girl's house to ask her for a favor because they needed her help. She agreed, and they started to work. While the monks gathered supplies such as bricks, cement, and wood, the brave little girl gathered all of the villagers into the middle of the village to start a morning music party. This music party lasted about 6 hours, and that wasn't enough time for the monks to finish their little project. The villagers were starting to get tired, but when they actually started to leave, the little girl shouted, "No, no, wait, I want to show you another song I learned." But the villagers didn't listen because they were just too exhausted, and they were caught by surprise when they came to their houses. All three monks were on stools painting every inch of every house. The villagers were so surprised and delighted, they felt so grateful that they decided to join them. So for the whole afternoon, they were cleaning and decorating until their backs started to hurt. They were even repairing the village on the outside. In the end, the village looked like something that they could never do in 100 years. When the three monks started to leave, all of the villagers were shouting, "Thank you," and "You've given us brand new hope." But what surprised the three monks the most was that the little brave girl that helped the monks yesterday was standing right next to a giant suitcase and was tiredly carrying a ginormous backpack. The middle monk asked, "What is all of this you're carrying?" The little girl replied, "I'm going with you." I've always wanted to know what it was like traveling around the world. Even my mom encouraged me. Is that okay? Her mom was standing in the crowd crying happily. The middle monk signaled to the old monk to decide. The oldest monk was so deeply touched, he decided, of course, sweetie, you're part of us now. The little girl was so giddy that before she left, she hugged every single villager because they meant so much to her. And just like that, she left with the monks. From that day on, the villagers and the four monks lived perfectly ever after. At the end of the day, both the monks and the villagers learned a valuable lesson that they will never forget, which was that doing a small, kind thing can change people's whole day. The monks cooked the villagers stone soup, and the villagers showed their appreciation by providing the monks comfortable rooms to sleep. In our lives, we can brighten someone's day by just doing something nice, just like when someone randomly smiles at you. So, the final lesson that we learn is that a little bit of kindness can go a long way. Thank you.